our Survivor Series picks here. Survivor Series taking place this Saturday. Thank you, Bibbs.
I'll start working my magic.
All right, but you're not going to work your magic. I do not. I don't think I do. I have the pick totals here.
Come on now, don't deny me.
Brian is at 39-26. Lewis is at 48-17.
Ooh.
And I'm at 36-29, bringing up the rear. Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna just say this before we go through our picks. I think the only matches that are going to be tough to pick are the actual War Games matches. Any other match that's not a War Games match is going to be very easy to pick.
I got to hear the whole card again. I got to hear the whole card.
25 minutes.
We can get into the first one here. Let's start it off with Carlito facing Santos.
Oh, this is easy.
Yeah, see?
This one we already
know. Yeah, see? That's what I'm saying.
We already know. Do we really got to analyze this one?
Come on. Is this
no,
a bad
one? No. This one we can analyze.
I'm not saying it's bad. I think we already know the outcome.
No, this one we can analyze. It's the other two that aren't the War Games matches that don't need to be analyzed.
But no, I think the Santos Escobar finally turning on Rey Mysterio there. The LWO, essentially. Selena Vega slapping him in the face. Getting all type of heel tactics with Santos, basically saying that he had a Tony Montana type of vibe when he came out there with his suit last week. But obviously turning on Rey Mysterio in the LWO, Carlito stepping in for Rey Mysterio, who is hurt at this point in time. What do you guys think about this build-up, and what do you guys think? Who's going to win this match, obviously?
All right, well, Lewis, you want to go first on this one?
Santos Escobar. Need I say more?
With the accent.
Exactly. Santos Escobar. You know?
I don't think you need to say anything else, but
all I'm going to say is, like, does Carlito need a win right now? No. You just had this man literally just turned, like, last week. You know, you got to start building some momentum. There's no way there can't be a reason why he would lose, and if they do, then I don't know what the hell they're doing. So, the only intriguing part about this is he really on this turn on his own? Honestly, my mind was going somewhere where it was like, all right, if Joaquin Phoenix and I forget the other dude's name.
Cruz del Toro.
Cruz del Toro. If they're not going to join them, are they just going to get lost in the shuffle? And then is Santos going to maybe go down to NXT and pluck another Spanish tag team to come, maybe join El Legado? I don't know.
There is one available.
Exactly. So I'm like, that's kind of an interesting aspect, but it's like, this is I don't know. It could be like I'm very curious where they're gonna go with this story. Is it like, are we bringing back full Legado del Fantasma, or is it gonna be Legado del Fantasma 2.0, which they can't do, like Daniel just said. So,
all right. So I'm also going with Santos on this for the same reasons that you stated, Lewis. No, he's a freshly minted heel going into this match. So common sense would say that he has to go over, but obviously he's gonna go over in a dirty manner. Mm-hmm. I actually think it's gonna be revealed that, because I know that he cut a promo on Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde, pretty much telling them like, yeah, you guys are trash, you're not siding with me, I'm done with you. But I think eventually they're gonna come around. I actually think that Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde are gonna help him win, to kind of like cement the fact that Legado is going to be back together, and Carlito is going to be on his own, because I saw a report that like the hopes of this feud is pretty much when Rey comes back, it's pretty much going to be Rey and friends versus Legado del Fantasma, and when Rey comes back with Carlito, who's going to be the third guy? Mm-hmm. And I think is Dragon Lee. Because
that does make sense.
Because I think because I did read another report where they said that the plans for Dragon Lee moving forward are that when Rey Mysterio comes back, Rey Mysterio is gonna serve as like a mentor for him, or to show everyone that like, hey, this guy right here, he's the future of Lucha Libre. So because of that, I feel like, Legato's going to get back together. Carlito's going to be by himself. And then Dragon Lee's going to come in and team up with him temporarily. And then when Ray comes back, it'll all come together. But as far
that
as
makes sense. That makes sense.
Santos, yeah.
And Dragon Lee's been kicking ass on SmackDown. He just
Yes, he has.
So he has been having his.
You guys saw the match with Axiom?
Yeah, the match was crazy.
So he's coming along, and I always think Dragon Lee. I always think of Japan, Dragon, Justin Tiger Luger, and stuff like that.
Ultimate Dragon.
Yeah, Ultimate Dragon and stuff like that. So I'm just like, Dragon, but no, he's a luchador from Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, that fits in perfectly if that's the way they're going. Santos definitely needed something, especially after talking about his babyface turn, and they haven't really been doing anything. It's kind of just been, hey, we're tagging along with the LWO. Hey, we're the LWO. Look at us. But it really hasn't developed into anything. So this is the first storyline that we're getting that is really developing into something and maybe turning back to his heel tactics from NXT. We'll see who he adds to his team. I'm hoping that it's Cruz and Wild, because that's the original group that they were in NXT. So hopefully they can do that and move towards that, because I feel like those guys kind of need a rub right now as well, as they've been lost. So hopefully they can get back on track and become something. But yeah, I think we're all going Santos Escobar. I don't think there's any reason why Carlito should win, even though I think Carlito does need something because he kind of hasn't been doing anything.
He does.
So I can understand it from that standpoint if they give him the win, but it's like Santos Escobar, if we're building the story between him and Ray, he needs to get a win there.
Yeah.
Let's go to our next match here, which has been pretty
very interesting.
The Miz and Gunther for the Intercontinental. I don't know why that says international. Maybe I'll have the AEW.
I'm saying, when the Gunther be Orange Cassidy?
International Heavyweight Championship.
I definitely had that from
saying Gunther and Orange Cassidy face each other on a house show.
That would be a banger though. For the Intercontinental Championship, Gunther has been steamrolling everybody basically for the Intercontinental Championship, thrusting down any challenger: Bronson Reed, Ricochet, Chad Gable, everybody who has stepped up in front of him. But he has this guy named The Miz in front of him on his babyface turn.
It's Mike Mizanin
going back and forth here, where they had a pretty good kick-ass promo on Raw going back and forth. What do you guys think about this build-up and who you guys have winning this match?
Wow. I mean, like you said, Daniel, that back and forth promo they had on Raw was pretty much like the climax of this feud, because they're trying. I mean, they're really trying to make Miz seem like a legit contender to him, but and they're trying to use Miz's history with him being an 8-time Intercontinental Champion, 2-time Grand Slam champion. Kind of had Gunther trying to tell the story about how Miz used to get bullied as a kid, and then he looked up to all these WWE superstars that kind of made him mentally stronger. Then he came to the WWE and he got bullied all over again. And how he had to dress in the he was kicked out of the locker room, had to dress in the public restroom, which is all real. So they really did try. With Gunther pretty much saying that, like, I'm a real wrestler and this match is sacred, and you're an entertainer and you're a host. You're not even a superstar anymore. I mean, you're more for the entertaining side of WWE, and I'm the I represent the grit of being an in-ring performer. So from that standpoint, those themes that they're trying to tell are entertaining. But at the end of the day, Miz was never going to be credible. Miz was never going to be credible to Gunther, no matter what they did. So Gunther retains. And right now at this point, I'm just looking forward to see who's it going to be. I mean,
you don't think there's a slight chance? I feel like for shock value,
there's a slight chance because if this is to propel Gunther to the main event scene, yes,
yeah,
I can see that happening.
But because I feel because I for sure feel like Seth's gonna need a new opponent soon, and I don't think it should be Cody. And it's like, who else can go into that? Who hasn't gone into that main event title that could benefit that right now going into the new year? I feel could easily be Gunther. And
I feel like Gunther.
I don't think Miz is the right one to take that from him. Yes, he has the history with the IC title, but technically, and
I mean, he's 4 for 30
wise
a year, so I don't.
No, I know, but this is just that's just the thing with Miz. It doesn't matter what his wins loss record is.
I mean, if the person,
he's a staple in the business.
The person who defeats Gunther has to be we have to create a star from that. The Miz is already. I don't think he needs that. I don't think he needs it. That's another thing.
So this is why. This is why I also thought, honestly, it probably should have been Bronson Reed, just because of size-wise, up and coming, taking people out. You know, they've been highlighting him, the tsunami, and all that stuff. I feel like, or even Chad Gable. Should have been Chad Gable. Should have been Chad.
Who by the way faced Noam Dar and out on NXT tonight for the Heritage Cup and the opening match, which was very good. You guys should take a look at that.
Did he win? I'm assuming not.
He
yeah. So and see, that's another thing.
And ended in a draw, and in a draw, the Heritage Cup doesn't change hands.
He retains.
Not to dive too much into it, but then I'm wondering what they're doing with the Alpha Academy, where it just kind of feels like, you know, the Gable method isn't working anymore because they've just been losing so much. Like literally everybody in, you know, the Alpha Academy has been losing. So yeah, but I don't know. There's a slight chance that I'm thinking maybe the Miz wins just because of what he did during that promo in terms of the low blow, which is where he says, you know, I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I feel like, you know, for what they're trying to do with the Miz, it's pretty much been working, at least for me.
It has.
It's literally like, okay, Miz,
it's you're
still being you, but yes, this guy is more of a monster heel right now, but you know, you've been here for so long, we could probably actually get behind you, you know. So it's just like, I don't know. Part of me is like, there's a slight chance because I feel like it might be Gunther's time to let go of that IC title, but I don't know. I guess I just haven't made a pick yet, so I don't know. You can go,
man. I'm going Gunther because I'm just like, the Miz is going to be that opponent that he just puts over himself, but it's just like, I don't see how the Miz can do it. I just don't think the Miz is the right guy to beat him because at this stage, the Miz just doesn't need it. Like, his resume doesn't.
But he hasn't had anything for a while. I feel like
he hasn't, but I mean, he hasn't gotten the wins yet.
I don't think that has to do with anything with getting a title. You know, like look at the when he won his last thing, his last world title was because he got the Money in the Bank from Otis. You know, so it's not like he fully earned it and got a bunch of wins. He literally just took it from a guy that should have never won Money in the Bank.
I mean,
pandemic.
The wins that Gunther, the reign that Gunther has had, I just don't think Miz is the right guy to beat him. I just don't see it.
No. That's the way. No, that's the way it should be. And I know we've kind of had like a mixed thoughts about the Miz in previous months with his feud with LA Knight and such. But now I know you guys have felt that like it's for Miz this is a good thing because you know he's kind of being portrayed in a different light. But I always just go back to when they tried with him as a babyface and it didn't really work because his whole demeanor is he's a natural heel. But Gunther, but like I said, they tried. I mean, because that back and forth that they had, I mean, it was pretty powerful.
It was very good. It was very good, and you get a positive reaction, So that's where I'm like kind of iffy. Like
the strength of the Miz.
Exactly. And it's like, could you imagine him actually pulling out a victory and people being like, oh shit, the Miz beat Gunther? Like how, not that, like you said, he doesn't need to be propelled any higher, but it's just like, could this be like resurgence? a resurgence that he hasn't had in a long time.
You think about the implosion, a little bit of this, a little bit of dissension in Imperium as well.
Yeah,
Kaiser and Vinci.
Giovanni Vinci.
So you're looking at it from that standpoint. It's like, is that going to play a part in this where they cost Gunther his title in a way?
I have no idea where that's going. Like, I don't see why they're kind of divided. I don't feel like
I don't feel like they should
up at all right now.
Dividing up the group at all.
Yeah. Unless they're adding new members. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I understand it from the standpoint of they want to be Gunther's right hand man, but it's like, you guys are a team. work together to achieve the goal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very true.
But we didn't get a pick there, Lewis. So who are you going with?
I think I might pull a Dan, and just for shock, I'm gonna go with the Miz. Just kind of like a shock the world type pick.
Going the Miz. Oh, it's set in stone now.
First time I've ever picked the Miz for anything.
Okay, I want to change my pick now because if he's picking Miz, that means someone in creative told him to do that.
See, Brian knows.
There's no way he would have picked Miz unless he 100% got confirmation from somebody in WWE.
No, and you can't say that because remember, I was full blown down for Shinsuke winning that title, and look what happened.
Hey, that's one thing. That's one. That's one pick.
Well, obviously that means you heard something one day, and then the day of the show they made a booking change, and then they give you a heads up.
It was too late. It was too late by then.
Yeah.
So you're going to Miz too, Brian?
Nah. We'll still on this one. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. I mean, this man broke Honky Tonk's record, and to
it's like, why does he still need the title? It's
exactly. It's like, yeah, this guy just broke Honky Tonk's record, and now he has the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. Miz is the one to do it. Nah,
that's the only thing.
But it's like they've had so many people who probably should have already done it. Like I said, I thought it should have been Bronson. It should have been Gable. Obviously, timing of him surpassing the record was not ideal, but it's just like the fact that he's already beaten those two guys. Why does he even need to face him again? It's all new challenges. Like who else is left to challenge besides like Ivar?
That's it.
A character's hours.
This is what I'm saying. Like, who else is really going to challenge for the IC title? What? Ludwig Kaiser's going to be like, oh, can I get a shot?
Hey, maybe that's what they're building to, long-term booking.
It doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
But no, me and Brian are going Gunther, and Lewis is going The Miz, shockingly. So we'll see what happens.
My brother would be so happy. He's a huge Miz fan. He really is.
But let's get into our next match here. We got Rhea Ripley versus Zoey Stark.
This one's interesting. This one's very interesting.
You think so?
I mean, they're trying to build a new star.
Yeah, all right, go ahead, Daniel. Go ahead.
I mean, with everything going on with Rhea Ripley and the Judgment Day, her handling everybody's business and stuff like that, I think that's going to play a part to a certain degree.
I don't see her losing, but it's a small factor.
Zoey Stark. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Sorry to interrupt you, Dave, but here's the thing about this, Lewis. This is why I don't think this is interesting. Because you're right. The whole point of this is to try and build a new star, a new contender for the Raw women's division, right? So you're trying to build a new star. If you're trying to build a new star, why is the whole story revolved around this match about how Rhea Ripley is so focused on Judgment Day business that she's not focused on the world title? Mm-hmm. If you're trying to build a new star, shouldn't the whole feud be revolved around the fact that you have a new star who's on the rise, who's challenging this woman who seems invincible since she's now the leader of Judgment Day, since she beat 4 of the top women in the division at Crown Jewel. So you would think that this feud would be more revolved around Zoey Starks and how she's on the rise. But yet, when you look at their interactions, the whole interactions have all been Zoey pretty much telling Rhea, yeah, you're focused on this, but you should be focused on me. And that's literally just been okay. What is it? What is it about you? What is it about you that should make Rhea focus on you?
I think the only thing that Zoey Stark has to go in for her is that she's a young challenger. They needed a new face in there, and especially with Nia Jax and Raquel Rodriguez going at each other. Shayna Baszler kind of in limbo.
Again.
Really, but I think it's just another challenger for Rhea Ripley to defeat. They're going to have a good match, and Rhea Ripley's just going to steamroll her at the end and move on. I think that's all this is.
Thank you, Daniel. So
I don't think Zoey Stark has a chance in hell, even though I think she's talented.
Therefore, we all pick Rhea. Let's move on.
Yeah,
they're trying to develop.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think what Zoe's been saying, like, hey, you're focused on all this other stuff, which she is. You know, she's been dealing with the Drew stuff. She's been dealing with the War Game stuff. She's been dealing with the turmoil with Damian. You know, it's just like all these other things are taking priority to the actual women's division. You know, she beat everybody at Crown Jewel, but it's like, what have you done since then? You know,
you shouldn't be sleeping on me, but why shouldn't she be sleeping on you? Like that's when they should have showed more like promo packages of Zoey Stark highlights, pretty much kind of like reintroducing the audience to who she is and why we should take her seriously going up against Rhea.
She won the battle royal. She won the battle royal, right? So that's the ending part. But it's like I felt like they could have booked her winning matches over the course of the weeks leading into it, and maybe that would have gave her a better rub than just winning a battle royal out of nowhere. But
for sure, I'm going Rhea as well. So
we're all going Rhea Ripley. Let's get into our first War Games match of the night. The women's War Games match: Damage Control versus Bianca, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and Becky 4-on-4. I have been mad at this booking. Obviously, when we found out Becky was the mystery partner,
I tried to tell y'all. I tell y'all that we're going to go in that direction.
I didn't think they would, honestly.
I'm just thinking.
I knew it was happening.
Side, once Asuka jumped, like they needed someone to kind of match that, and the only person that you could really think about that matches that was Becky.
What about Trish?
Wow. See, you said
she puts on bigger cage matches.
See, I would have not known it was Becky if they hadn't on SmackDown been taking out all the women that they had talked to, like Mia Yim and who was the other one?
Zelina.
So right then and there, you're like, well, who the hell is left? Exactly. So. But I was a little shocked because, you know, I feel like the last interaction we've seen between Charlotte and Becky was not the prettiest situation.
Favorable.
So I was honestly pretty shocked that they were like, you know, hey, Charlotte, do you have someone? Yeah, I called them. They said they'll be here. And oh, Lord and behold, it's Becky. After all that beef they had with the passing of the belts and stuff. So I think that was the only surprising part. Now, as far as
it happened under Vince's creative, so therefore it never happened. So
sorry. But as far as winning this match, I'm gonna have to go Damage Control, just because they are newly formed. You got Kairi, you got Asuka, you got Io. It could be one of those situations where they win and then kind of, you know, maybe they're ready to kick Bayley out. I don't know, or maybe that'll happen on Monday, or whatever, Friday, whatever they're on.
They appeared on Raw, so I mean, who knows what day of the week it is.
Exactly. Do the brands even matter at this point? So, but yeah, I got Damage Control winning this one.
Yep. Yeah, definitely going with Lewis on this one. You got to go Damage Control. I'll even go one step further. Damage Control gets the win. Shotzi takes the pin. Real simple, because if you look at the rest of that team, none of those other three women really can take the pin. Well, they could, but I mean, it's not going to hurt them, but at the same time, yeah, it just makes more sense that Shotzi's the one that takes it. Like Lewis said, damage control just got stronger with the addition of Asuka. Kairi Sane just came back a couple of weeks ago. So with those two things, you kind of want to continue with this trend of damage control continuing to get stronger. I do think that throughout the match, though, you're gonna get teases of them possibly dropping Bayley in the future. Like you're gonna get a lot of that, and you can even see it on SmackDown for the last 2 weeks. Asuka's joined. Whenever Dakota Kai has mentioned something about damage control, and then bringing over Kairi Sane, or when Asuka joined, they keep alluding to this idea that. It's us three. We have this similarity together. Well, it's us four, including Dakota Kai. We have this similarity together between the four of us. And Bayley has just been this annoying presence that's always just there. And granted, she's had more success than the majority of us, but as us four, we have a connection, and she's just there. And they keep teasing that eventually Bayley is going to be dropped. That you're going to definitely see that throughout the match. But you got to go. Damage control, because Kairi just came back, Asuka just joined, and Shotzi takes the pin.
I'm gonna go damage control as well. And I don't think they're gonna play that dissension as much, maybe towards the end of the match or whatever the case may be, but I feel like that breakup's gonna happen as soon. I feel like
there'll be like an accidental hit or something.
I feel like they're gonna do that more towards when they're ready to have EO drop the title at some point, or maybe Bayley cost them a match or something like that. But I don't think it's going to be this War Games match. I don't want Shotzi to take the pin. I know she's the weaker member of the group, member of the group, but it's like, I don't want her taking the pin. Let one of these other women take the pin. They're not going to get hurt taking the pin. So I'm like,
Charlotte's not taking the pin.
Definitely not Becky. Becky's too hot right now.
You want to know what? Becky Lynch has to take a goddamn pin. I'm tired of this.
She doesn't.
I'm tired of this crap. She just beat Xia Li. She just beat Xia Li.
Exactly. You know what, man? You can't even deny this, because from the beginning, from when Becky won that NXT Women's Champion, why does she need it? Why does she need to go down there, take us spots from all these other, and look what she's done? I honestly feel from her winning that title, look at how many more women's matches we're actually getting on Raw, and lengthier matches. Look at how long that match was that she and Xia Li had. It wasn't no 2-minute match. That was a good 10-minute match, And look at all the other matches he's had with other people on Raw. Yeah, so you're really? No, you can't deny that they're literally and look, it's not even just her matches. Look at the Nia Jax freaking Raquel Rodriguez. There was probably at least a good 3-4
I'll say this. Kudos for Becky for doing that run. Fine, that's fine. But these women should be getting those matches.
But I feel like this. I think I'm alluding to that. This kind of started with her because that was her goal, and look how that kind of blossomed into these more matches on Raw and SmackDown.
It's her goal, but then she just beat Xia Li.
Yeah, who roundhoused her 2 times and cost her championship opportunities, and now she's in a War Games match. It's like,
you want to know what?
You're just a Becky hater. Just say it.
No, I am. I don't give a damn.
Okay, so you're biased. You're not gonna make a conscious argument.
What I want in War Games is for Xia Li to climb the cage and kick Becky in the head.
Shut up. No, stop it.
Come on, don't
fly in with their daggers.
Don't China. Come on, don't China and Japan have beef right now?
I couldn't tell you.
So why was Xia Li helping them control?
She just been getting treated like crap in AEW. Come on over.
God.
Just come on over. I'm just tired. I don't want Shotzi to take the pin because it's like
she's gonna take the pin. She's gonna take the pin. You know what? It's either
she's gonna take the pin. She's the wicked member
or Bianca, but most likely Shotzi.
It's got to be one of the other women. It's got to be
because Bianca just lost recently. I don't see why she can't just take another pin. I feel like I want Bianca to just go heel so badly, please. But
okay, this can be the start. This can be a starting point into that heel turn. This can be
kind of like Drew McIntyre. See how that works. See how that works. See how that kind of.
I guess we'll segue into this crap of
Let's segue into this.
You guys like my segues? My segues are pretty good.
They've been pretty good. I'll give you that.
This one is the hard one because there's so many variables on both sides where it's like
this isn't even hard.
No, this is a hard one.
The Judgment Day facing Cody, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso
losing,
and they're returning Randy Orton.
Losing. You
cannot. I'm gonna go first.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm gonna pick the Judgment Day.
See what I mean?
Because as much dissension as there is, and Drew, I don't know if he's actually with them or he's just helping them. They kind of played on that a little bit. But I just feel like, why would we insert Drew McIntyre with the Judgment Day to have them lose?
See, there's that.
What's the point?
Can I counter this?
Yeah, go ahead.
They would lose, and this would be the exit of Damian.
I just think there's a little bit more story to tell there between him and Drew, because obviously they're going to be heads. But I think there's a lot of turmoil of them going in because look at that. Even with the advantage,
Damian being like, "I'm the leader," and then you got Drew over here, but like, "Nah, I'm gonna go get that advantage," which he did. But it's like, oh, yeah, we got Drew now. Yeah, he's saying he's not part of Judgment Day, but he did what he said he was gonna do. And like, if they lose, Damian, you were supposed to be the leader. You cost us War Games.
Yeah, and I feel like that's gonna play up to it. But
I feel like that's the big factor. I feel like Damian's definitely out. Drew's slowly gonna get integrated. Maybe not full. He's probably still going to be the same Drew, but he's going to use them to whatever advantage he can.
We didn't get the purple tights or the mascara.
Thank God. Thank
God. Daniel, just to follow up on what you said, I think they did make it clear on Raw that like he wasn't a part of the group.
Yeah, he said that.
He's just helping as a favor to Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
which is interesting because Mommy's looking at Drew a little bit more than Dom.
This is what I'm saying. They always call Damian the powerhouse. Now they got Drew, who's a little bit taller and a little bit stronger.
It's more spinach.
Yeah, so the reason why initially so originally the reason why I was looking at this and thought it was going to be a hard pick was because on the Cody and Friends side, obviously. We got the return of Randy Orton, who's been out for like almost a year and some change. So obviously him coming back, last thing you want to do is have him lose. But at the same time, he's Randy Orton. He's concrete. He's bulletproof at this point. So Randy Orton loses doesn't really doesn't mean as much. And then you got the Judgment Day on the other side, like Lewis said, telling this story of the dissension from within, and. So you would think that they would lose, but at the same time, I go back to months ago when the Bloodline storyline was kind of dwindling down, and Judgment Day was supposed to kind of like replace it in a sense. So the strength of the group, so obviously keeping the strength of the group is important, so it would make sense for them to win. But Lewis made a good point in they've been telling this story for weeks about the dissension of Judgment Day, even going back to the build for Crown Jewel when Cody Rhodes called out Damian Priest and said like you're 6 foot tall, you're this and that, you're senior Money in the Bank. Why are you not the leader? So they've kind of been telling this story week after week, and so based upon that. I think Cody and friends are gonna end up winning because it does make more sense.
Do they have a team? Do they have a team name? Is it Cody's Heroes?
No, I'm just calling them because at one point it was Cody and friends, then it was KO and Sami and friends, and then went back to Cody and friends, then it was Seth and friends. Now
it's Legacy 3.0.
It is.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's. I mean,
Brian, you're going Cody. You're going Cody.
Yeah,
I'm going to call that Cody's Heroes. There we go.
My only thing is like I could see my thought process initially before you guys went was like you have Randy Orton coming back. You can't have him lose. But Randy being Randy could easily betray them. But I feel like he'd want to win the match and then kind of pull a Shinsuke and like go after Seth or something. I feel like, you got the story of Randy being out, big injury, coming back. He's been hungry, wants to assert his dominance. Why not go after Seth and the world title? Especially a new world title. But I feel like he'd win the match and then pull that move and kind of pull like a Shinsuke thing, like, hey, look, we're a group. We won together. I'm going to give you RKO out of nowhere and then just walk on out of there,
I don't think so because it's just like I think Randy Orton's coming back right now just to help the team. But in my head, I'm just like, I really think just long-term booking and stuff like that. After Cody wins the title, that he go challenges Cody or some variation of that because I feel like Randy Orton
after who?
I think he's going to go after Cody or somebody. I don't know. But I feel like
we're going to get I'm calling now that Randy Orton is back, and we hope that Cody wins the title at WrestleMania. I'm already calling the SummerSlam right now. It's going to be Cody and Orton for the title because that story there's so much story there that they can tap into, and that feud is good enough where it can last like maybe 3 or 4 p at least.
My thing about that is that he'll have to be on SmackDown if he wins, right?
Exactly. That's
or something. So that's where I can kind of fall flat on that. But
yeah,
I feel like Jey Uso in the Bloodline, that because we saw his face when Cody announced that it was Randy Orton.
Yeah, exactly. That's another important thing to realize. They don't do these things on accident. Like they actually zoomed in on Jey Uso's face, knowing so they don't do.
There's gonna be beef.
Yeah. So even though I think that obviously the dissension and the Judgment Day is going to happen at some point, I just feel like that's a bigger story because Jay has kind of just been floundering behind Cody and tagging with those guys being the good guys. Randy Orton has had beef with, I think Randy Orton has had beef with everybody in this match to some degree. Cody Rhodes, of course, with Legacy and all that back in the day. Seth Rollins, of course, the Authority. We go back to those days.
The RKO out of nowhere.
Has he crossed paths with Sami Zayn?
I believe so. Maybe not like title wise,
not in the feud. They've had a couple of matches.
Yeah. But and then obviously the beef with the Bloodline with Jey Uso. So I feel like there's enough there where Randy Orton could probably RKO everybody, and screw them. But I mean, he is coming back. I don't think they're going to do that just as yet. But I just feel like I don't feel like the Judgment Day can lose. I feel like Cody, Seth, and Jay, they're the babyface. They can fight an uphill battle. But then again, you think about, are they really going to have 2 heel teams win War Games on the same night?
Exactly.
It's definitely
and what does that do to Randy's return? Him losing.
I mean, if he turns heel,
I don't think it'll matter because people are just going to be happy to see him because he's been gone for so long, and he's John Cena status, not the greatest of all time, but he's at that level where people just want to see him at this point. Yeah. And like I said, because of the whole CM Punk situation, and everyone expecting CM Punk. Now they'll just be glad that they're getting something special.
Will they? No, they're not. They're not. There's a reason why they announced Randy Orton on Raw instead of saving it for the pay-per-view. Yeah, true.
I think it's because they're trying to sell those tickets that they just opened up for Survivor Series.
But
I know Michael Cole was doing like an advertisement for it, saying that like limited tickets have now opened up for Survivor Series. That they got more, they opened up more space, so we need to buy these tickets. So
I'm just talking about the fan reaction. At some point, we're going to get a CM Punk chant. At some point, they're going to boo everything.
Of course, you're only going to have those idiots in Chicago that think that CM Punk is the god of wrestling, and that if you're in Chicago, you need CM Punk. I mean, you're gonna have those couple, but by announcing Randy Orton, I like to think common sense would tell you that like you're not getting Punk, you're getting Randy. Like
I would hope so.
Like you're not getting Punk, you're getting Randy. So here.
But who are you going with, Lewis?
I'm gonna go with Cody, Seth, Sami, superheroes. The Revengers.
Yeah. Cody and friends, yeah.
Cody and friends. So I'm the only one going Judgment Day. Okay.
Damn.
I'm fine with that. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna be fine with that. But the picks so far, we got Santos Escobar over Carlito. Me and Brian are picking Gunther. Lewis is picking The Miz in the Intercontinental title match. We're all going Rhea Ripley.
Never thought I'd pick The Miz.
Never thought that either. We got Rhea Ripley over Zoey Stark in the Women's Championship. We're all going Damage Control in the Women's War Games match. And in the Men's War Game match, you guys are going Cody's Heroes or Cody and Friends, and I'm going to Judgment Day. The Lone Ranger picking the Judgment Day because I still believe there's more story to tell there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. We recap Full Gear. We recapped.
Dan, don't you remember your pick for Drew winning the title?
He should have won.
I learned after I picked Shinsuke. It's
and then, guys, I actually just remembered something. And going back to AEW, there is one thing that we forgot to mention. They announced the new superstar who's now signed with AEW is now going to be Will Ospreay. Which I'm not gonna lie, I was very underwhelmed when I heard that announcement that it was going to be him because it's one of those things where it's like he's already had a couple of matches with AEW.
It was expected more than anything else.
So it's like he's kind of already been working for the company with the relationship that AEW and New Japan have, and then for him to say that he has to finish out his New Japan deal, which ends I think in like February. Before he's able to come over, it's kind of a little bit of a letdown. But as a talent, Will Ospreay is top 5 in the world. Any company would love to have a Will Ospreay. So the fact that we're actually going to see him on American television on a weekly basis or for whatever it is with AEW is interesting. But at the same time, when you hear like surprise signing, you're kind of hoping for somebody who hasn't worked for the company, for someone who has buzz. But so from that standpoint, I thought it was underwhelming that ended up being Ospreay. But as a talent, Will Ospreay is Will Ospreay.
Yeah, and I think that's what probably a lot of people were like, "Who's this person? This blockbuster?" Like it wasn't needed. You honestly could have waited till he finished out and then be like, boom, this is our new signee. But it could also be a thing where like it was probably going to get revealed either way. So I don't know. They probably wanted to get ahead of it, maybe.
I honestly think that they did it just to stick it up to WWE because there were reports that WWE had interest in them too. I really
everybody had interest in it.
I think they really because they really wanted. Apparently, the report said that like WWE was really like trying. Like to get off.
They didn't pitch WrestleMania. They didn't listen to me.
I think Tony Khan wanted to say like, I got him. I'm not gonna have him until after February, but I have him. I have him. You don't. I have a relationship with the company with the company that he's currently signed with, so I'm going to be able to use him as much as I can until I have him full time. And I don't really think he just did that just to stick it to WWE.
Could be.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they all were in cahoots, and I'm pretty sure Tony Khan offered him a crazy deal with less dates.
Yeah,
fielded it easily. I mean, they have a working relationship anyway, and especially with a void with CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, those guys being out. I can see Will Ospreay saying, "Hey, I'm going to be featured more. I want to be in a prominent role." Pretty much writes itself. Not surprising at all. But good for AEW, especially with the all the stars that have been hurt. Apparently, a couple stars that are going to be taking a break and stuff like that. So definitely a void filled for them. So we'll see how Will Ospreay comes out. Is he going to be intermediate, helping out in December, January, February, working back and forth between New Japan and AEW? Possibly. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But that will do it for this episode 42. We have Survivor Series coming up on Saturday. War Games. I don't care. Whatever the opening promo for War Games is, William Regal has to be in it. We have to get his War Games.
Instead, we got Adam Pearce. God damn
it. Hopefully, William Regal can make an appearance there. That would be dope.
Please.
And as always, thank you guys for joining me. Signing off.